Hi, this is Simon Chan, and welcome to my network marketing training. Time and time again, I like to share a lot of the mistakes I made and some of the traps that you can avoid. You know, if you know my story, I was pretty much a pathetic failure. I shouldn't say pretty much. I was definitely a pathetic failure. My first 2 months in the business, I made no money. I made investment. I knew network marketing worked, and but somehow it didn't. I didn't make any money because I had a lot of mindset issues. And even though later on, when I became, I became a silver director, I became a gold director, I had achieved certain type of success, I still had challenges and made mistakes as well. And I was thinking about this, just seeing different ways to help you guys. And one of the things I figured that would be helpful was to just share a lot of stories that I've gone through that you can think about, that you guys can relate to. I was just thinking about where did I come from, right? What was I like when I first started the business? What was I like 2-3 years into the business having some success? So I'm going to share something with you that after I became like a gold director already, and I sponsored a lot of people, and then I had a huge stumbling block, mental block. And one of the things I found out a couple years into business was that I got pretty good in sponsoring and doing three-way calls. And my team was trained. They would bring people to me, and when we met their prospects, I would meet them and close them immediately, right? And then there was a time when, now this is a short time, which was really baffling for me, where I could sponsor my downlines, but I could not, downlines prospects, but I didn't sponsor anything for myself. And this was happening probably like a short 2 or 3 month span, where I was talking to people, but I just could not get the signups. But when my downlines brought people to me, I could get the signups, right? So afterwards, I really thought back to what was I doing incorrectly. I started analyzing it because I like statistics, data. I come from a sports background where, like, if you want to be better, you just watch videotape, right? If you want to prepare for opponent, especially on the NBA, that level. Now, I didn't play the NBA, but I worked with those athletes. They watch videotape of the next opponents. They have the video. I mean, the hardest worker in the team is probably the poor guy, the video assistant, that have to find 10 games of a specific play. I mean, if they were facing against, for example, a specific team like the Miami Heat, where LeBron James doing pick and roll, they would have to go through 10 games. They would with these, for example, pick and roll with Chris Bosh and LeBron James. The poor assistant would have to go through all 10 games of the last 10 games and scan through every second to find out every time there's a play and edit it and put in the video, so the coach will be able to prepare and find out what that team did. And also, they'll go back to their previous games and find out how well they defended when this happened and what the players need to do differently. So I started doing this. So knowing this background analysis, my first tip here is, if you want to get better in prospecting, you have to record yourself. Okay? If you can record video, great, but it's probably not going to happen. Record a video. I'm not record video. Record an audio. Right? Audio, you can probably record yourself and find out. Record your phone calls, when you do a home meeting, business presentation, meeting a one-on-one. They'll allow you to find out what are you doing differently. So I started recording myself when I did three-ways, when I met with my downlines prospects, and then when I met with my prospects. And I'll listen to see what the heck was going on. How come I couldn't? I mean, once in a while you can say the prospects' quality is not that good. But when you talk to a lot many, and if you talk to 1 or 2 or 5, a sample size so small, and they're not signing up, okay, that's just the numbers, right? But if you're talking to a lot, and I was talking to a lot, and I still wasn't getting results, then hey, something must be wrong. So you got to go back to the recording. That would help. So two things I noticed. Number one was, especially if you can get to like a more of a leadership level, you get a decent, nice looking rank, you're a silver director, gold director, you tend to forget to use a three-way, right? So I forgot using the three-way call. I was giving great presentations to my prospects. I was doing great talking. But what happens? What do the prospects remember? They duplicate what? They don't remember the products, the company. They remember the experience. They just remember, hey, Simon, yeah, he's full-time. He went to Columbia. He was a sports agent. Okay, maybe Simon didn't have skills, but he went to Columbia. He can learn. He can be such a good talker. But hey, I can't do it. I'm busy. I have a job. I have 2 kids. I don't have time to do it. So again, the 3 doubts when a prospect has, right? Is this for real? Can I do this? And will you help me? So instantly, they maybe say it's for real because I've seen you successful, Simon, but it doesn't matter. I can't do it because I can't talk like the way you can, right? So what I was doing is I was not using the 3 ways. I was not bringing a team member involved. And remember, people like to join teams. I was making the business too difficult because I was, quote unquote, too good at it, right? So what the tip is, the business gotta be a way where anyone can do it. I always like to use the word, any dummy can do it. All I need to do is talk to someone, get you to bring it to my upline. My upline do all the talking. I can sit back there, don't do a thing, and boom, I can be successful. To me, I'm busy. I don't have time to study and be a good speaker, but hey, I can do that. I can just bring people to my upline and do the talking. But if you want me to do all the presentation, hey, I can't do that. So that was what the first thing I did wrong, was not using an upline. Okay, not using or at that level, my upline and I weren't even working that closely together, right? But use anyone, use the downline, have them come in. So one of your, when I was like at that level, I had like a silver, I had directors I can give parts of full presentations, and even if someone can't do a full presentation, they can do a part of a presentation. But when I actually do the presenting, I don't want to talk that much. I want to talk very little. Okay. Now I can work on the closing, but I will talk little because I want to show the person that, hey, you don't need to be good. You don't need an Ivy League education. You don't need to be full-time. Anyone can do the business. Look, meet John. John can do the talking. Okay. John was actually one of my success stories. I helped him become successful. Let him do the talking. I don't know anything, right? I found John. John does the talking. John did the presentation. And then my prospects said, wow, okay, Simon, you don't need to be a good talker. I know you were shy in college. That's the way I remembered you. But you've got this guy, John. He does the presentations for you. Wow, that's pretty cool. I can do that. Okay, is it duplicatable? Okay, can I do this? That's the main question in the prospect's mind. So first thing to do, if you run into this challenge that guy did, make sure you're using a team member. Upline, if you use upline, use the downline. Use anyone, but not yourself. Don't be the professional presenter because, again, it's not duplicatable. And most people, remember, what's the number one fear? Fear of public speaking. So greatest fear in the world, public speaking, right? And then related to that, public speaking is giving presentations. People have to memorize, have to know what to say. You don't know. I just bring it to my John. My John will take care of everything, right? So John was one of my downlines, by the way. Or I bring it to Kim. Or I bring it to Randy. I bring it to Scott. Let them do the presentation. I talk very little. I'll maybe do the closing, but the presentation, let them talk. All right. Okay. The second part. So make sure number one is have someone to work as a team. Do the presentation, like a 3-way call. The second thing is, and this is more a mental thing, is like, I was listening to my recordings, and sometimes your prospects need to get that push, right? We have something that can help them. They need to hear, hey, you got to do this. And again, we have the desire not to manipulate, but to really help them, right? So hey, you got to do this. So for example. And we call someone out. So, for example, someone said that, oh, I don't have the money, right? And I learned this early on that from my mentor. It's like, hey, if you have no money, so most people will say, oh, I know. When will you have the money? When do you have to join, right? And then so that's a weak answer. You let the prospect go. But so one of my mentors says, because we all know everyone has the money, right? Almost 99% of people, they have the money. They have a way to get started. So he just said, hey, I appreciate that answer. I know the money may not be in front of you. It might be on the cable, might not be in your wallet, but I know in your bank account you have the money to get started. The reason you're saying that is because you're scared. You're scared it may not work out, or you may have some questions. So let's go over this. Let me show you how this will work for you. So when I first heard that, I was like, wow. And I kind of paraphrase. It's not the exact words, but it's like, I would never have the guts to say that, but he did say that because he came so strong. He knew that. This business helps other people, right? And later on, I adopted this. Why the 3 ways? That's what I'd say. And people say, wow, this guy's successful. For example, you're like the teacher, right? That when the student, your kid goes to, or kids who go to school and they say, oh, I don't have time. I don't have the time to study homework today. I don't have the time to do homework. Hey, you know, we know that's an excuse. The teacher's not going to accept it. Oh, when will you have time? Because no, you know, I know you have time. Just cut out the TV, cut out the internet, whatever, the video games, and do your homework right now because you need to do this. It's for your future. It's better for you, right? So it's the same thing when let's talk about the no time objection. When I used to talk to, you know, prospects, I would say no time. Oh, you know, when we have time, when's a better time? That's a weak answer. And I learned to say, hey, you know, I know you have no time. That's the exact reason why you need to do this. If you're going to wait any longer, you're never going to have time. So you got to do this right now because your life is going to get worse and worse. So you got to do it now. And I'll emphatically tell them what to do, right? Give them, hey, this, you got to give them the push to do it. So I found out later on, but it's more like a gutsier, bolder move and may strain your relationship with that person a little bit. But again, we're helping them, right? I mean, when the teacher's telling to the kid, that strains the relationship. Kid's not happy, right? Kid's not happy with the parent. They may be fighting the parent, but the parent has the best intentions. So when we do that with our prospects, we have the best intentions. We're helping them. We're helping them, getting them to do it. So what happens is, when we say this to our prospects, the ones who are kind of timid or looking for leadership, they think, wow, you stand out. I want to be like that. I want to follow you. But it does, again, take some guts. You may afraid there's going to be some awkwardness in the relationship later on, right? But if they do join, they will thank you. So I found out that I got good at this. When I did 3 ways, I would tell because my prospects would bring, I'll say that to them because I have nothing to be afraid of. Hey, they get mad at me for saying that. It's just like the kid gets mad at the teacher, right? The teacher doesn't have to deal with the kid. For me, my downlist prospects get mad at me or get turned off by me. Hey, it's not my prospect. I don't care. I'm teaching you. But what happened was when I was meeting my prospects, I'll be like, somehow I changed. I didn't even realize it until I listened to the recording. I became weak. I was like, you don't have any money? Oh, when we have the time, the money. How long will it take to say? I'll let these people off the hook. I'll let them off easy. Because for somehow subconsciously, I was afraid that they would get mad at me if I told them, hey, you got to get started. I know you have the money. Don't BS. Don't lie to me. I know you have the money. You're just not sure about this. Just tell me, okay? What can I do to help you? I was afraid to say that to them. Oh, now I was afraid to be forceful. And because of it, I lost them. And not to manipulate, because of them, you know, who lost out? Not really me. They lost out because they lost out on a great opportunity. I could have helped them, but I did not because I was weak. So that was one of the things that I did. And then, like I said, I never even noticed it. I was just like, how come I couldn't get these signups? Those are 2 of the main reasons. I didn't use the upline, and I was talking to them not assertive enough and tell them, hey, this is what we need to do. I need to help you. You need to get started. And so, and I'm not saying when you prospect, you tell, you always ask. But when it comes to closing and the last part for them to take action, you need to get them to take action, be forceful about it because you're out to help them. It's like going back to the teacher, right? The teacher say, hey, you got to be forceful to the kid to study and work hard, to study in school, even though the kid doesn't want to do it. You got to be forceful. And as the parents got to be forceful and be strict about it. The parents who let the kids do whatever they want, let them off the hook, who suffers? Not the parent, it's the kid suffers at the end, right? Because the kid doesn't learn about discipline and all those things. So again, those are the 2 things throughout my years in the industry. It's like mistakes I made, and I'm just sharing with you. So if you're a leader out there, or if you have these challenges, find out, or account or something like you can sponsor your downlines, but you haven't sponsored anything. A big part of it is you. You know, go listen to the recordings, listen to them, find out what you're doing wrong, and then and listen, go record when you're meeting your downlines. Listen to those recordings and compare. What are you doing differently? All right, this is a little more deeper today about prospecting as a leadership. Hey, just one of the things I'm sharing. I hope this, if it helps you, feel free to comment below and let me know. This is Simon Chan. Thank you for watching. Take care.